Sam never believed that he ever could be anything special to anyone. He didn't mind, no, he was the kind who could get along fine with everyone. He had a job at the Texaco. If you were a stranger and things were slow, he'd be glad just to put it all down, take you out and he'd show you around Sam's Town. Wrote that in that Sam's Town casino out in
Oh, you did?
the outskirts of Las Vegas, when it was the only Sam's Town casino, and now apparently they're
There's
everywhere.
a bunch of them. Well, we were known as staff songwriters, which I thought was kind of neat because it sounded like a job that had a future.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't sound like a musician's job, like, how am I going to get paid?
Yeah.
It sounded like a real job, and I thought that's what I'd do forever. But that's what we did. We were all hired, you say hired, but we were paid in advance on future royalties. Well, Kevin has the first memory of me because I hadn't met him yet when he heard my songs.
Yeah, so you sent 2 songs about hookers, and they were but beautiful, compassionate hooker songs.
And that's when you knew you loved me. I grew up in a musical family, so my dad said, songwriters, if you're serious about it and you want to do it for a job, you got to come home from school and write every day. He says, you can't just kind of fluff it off. So by the time I got to Nashville, the idea of writing in a cubicle every day was not frightening to me. I was comfortable with that. But the best thing that happened to me was have kids, because when I had kids, I had to learn how to write around chaos. And that's when I really learned how to write. Now that they're grown and gone, it's like, it's too quiet now when I write.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, you know, they come all different ways. We used to get in those little cubicles at Tree. They had several up there on the second floor. And it was exciting because somebody'd come out, you know, and whoever was the head of the thing, Gant or Sovine or Montgomery, they'd say, hey, play that song you just wrote. And they were fresh off the press, man.
Yeah.
And then lots of them were really great. A couple of clunkers, but mostly great songs. We're all waiting here for Mama's little brother. He called last night, collect to say he might drop by on his way, heading up to Frontier Days in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
The cubicles at Tree, those were just they were almost jail cell size, right? I mean, like this, just enough room, and about maybe 10 feet long, spinet piano, couple of chairs.
Yeah, that's it.
That was it. Nothing on the wall, no posters, no art.
They smelled like coffee and cigarettes.
Yeah.
I wrote some really crappy songs in those rooms.
Boy, me too, man.
And a couple of good ones.
I wrote a couple good ones in there.
Yeah. It was still a great environment to hang out for other reasons than writing. And the main reason was inspiration. I don't know if that would be true today, but back then you'd be there and you'd hear new songs coming out, and then out the elevator door would open up and Roger Miller would walk in. And you just wanted to be around that, you know? So that, to me, the environment, even if you didn't write there, it was a good place to hang. Of course, back then, it was not as much a 9 to 5. It was certainly a 9, but sometimes it would be a 9 to 5 the next morning. And we'd be up at night playing songs all night in Gant's office or Sovine or Montgomery's office. Yeah. And to me, that's where the business really got done. And I think an outsider would have come in, saw those, what we called guitar pulls, and they would have said, these guys are just partying and playing songs. And when in fact, that's when all the stuff got heard and the next day got pitched, and that's when it had, that was the magic.
I remember one time when Jamie O'Hara and Bobby Braddock, I think, came out of, if not one of the cubicles, one of the little offices on the second floor. Yeah. And with that song, this song doesn't rhyme.
Oh God. Yeah.
Really brilliant,
it's a classic song.
Yeah, brilliant little thing. It just kind of came out smiling, you know. All right, what you got?
Yeah.
You know?
I'll tell you something about collaboration. I became a lot better writer. I learned things quicker than I would have the other way. And my solo songs got so much better, and I also learned how to write a little quicker as a solo writer. And I have to be honest, you know, I've had a few cuts that I wrote by myself, but think most of my cuts that mattered, that really raked in some income, were co-writes. I'll just play this one, the chorus on, that song that John Vezner and I wrote that we got to win a Grammy on. Where have you been? I've looked for you forever and a day. Where have you been? I'm just not myself in your way. And you know how you have those kind of things with you, and they just sit around for a long time. And John said, man, my grandmother hadn't spoken to anyone in weeks, and they were on different floors, and he said, I just kidnapped my grandfather. He was under 100 pounds by then.
So he's dying on one floor and she's dying on another one.
He went up there, picked him up, put him in a wheelchair, wheeled him down there. He says it was so great because he pulls up to the side of the bed. She said something. She goes, where you been? Wow. And I thought that was kind of like a Braddock moment, that humor, the irony of country music that I love so much. It was a beautiful moment, but she was frightened, and that's how it came out. It wasn't as beautiful as that melody would suggest.
Yeah.
But when he told me, where have you been, I went, hey, about this? Da, 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 da. Where have you been? It just fit, those syllables fit. Mm-hmm. And I played the riff for him, and he sat there for a minute, and he said, play it again. And I played it, and he filled in other lines. And the song wrote itself because we didn't have to make anything up.
Huh.
Yeah.